Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano video. So today it's going to be all about yield farming, because since Sundaeswap put out the APRs or APY that people are earning on the exchange, people have got very interested in yield farming and how they can earn them huge returns on their investment. So what I'm going to do here is take you through the basics of staking, providing liquidity, yield farming, all of that type of stuff, and then we'll go over and take a look at the exchange then. So the first part of this, what I go through, will hopefully stand for any DEX or anything that comes out, and these will take you through the process, the risks, the advantages, disadvantages, and everything like that, that then you can hopefully make an informed decision whether this fits into your risk appetite or not, or whether you are happy just staking as well. So we'll jump into all of that. Timestamps will be below. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. If you think this can help others as well, please do share it out, give the video a like, and let me know anything I miss or you want included in future videos down below. Let's jump into it. Okay, we'll start out here with some of the basics around this. So most people will be familiar with staking on Cardano. You can stake your ADA and you get a return over the year. When you stake first, it takes 15 to 20 days to get your first ADA rewards, and then it's every 5 days. So the reason it's 15 to 20 days is because your first reward is at the end of your fourth epoch. An epoch is 5 days. So it depends on what stage of the first epoch you delegate or stake, and that will determine if it's 15 or 20 days before you get your first reward. So it's kind of struggling for disadvantages here. I'm assuming in this that people hold the ADA in their own wallet. They're not staking on an exchange. If you're staking on an exchange, obviously another risk here would be you don't hold custody of your funds, and if something happens to the exchange, it's them that holds the funds and not you. Disadvantages: if you hold the ADA yourself, there's a lower APY than something like yield farming. Obviously the risk levels there's a big difference in the risk levels here. There really isn't much risk to staking your ADA if you're holding it in your own wallet anyway. So the advantages then. So I'm looking at the advantages to you as the ADA holder here. Obviously there's advantages to the network in helping secure the network, helping stake pools as well, helping support them. So for you personally, the advantages are no risk to your initial ADA. So there are fees for staking, but them fees that you see when you're looking to choose a pool, the fees are taken from the overall pool rewards in that epoch. They're not taken from your initial ADA. So the funds then, they're 100% in your control. The funds are as safe as you are with your seed phrase and your wallet, and not letting anyone else get access to it. Obviously, if you use a third party, an exchange or anything like that, then this isn't an advantage for you. You get roughly 4.3% extra ADA a year. Now, I've done a video previously showing where staking rewards come from and how they're generated and how they come down slightly every single epoch, and I'm going to do an updated one on that fairly soon to talk about the transaction volume we would need to see on chain to actually stabilize the rewards and potentially bring them back up as well. I know you'll see out there that some people still say between 5 and 5.5% rewards, but if you start looking at the numbers and start breaking them down, I think it's a lot closer to 4.3% at the minute, but I will go into that in the next video that I do as well when I look at that type of stuff and where the rewards come from. So I'll link the older one I've done down below for anyone who wants to check that out as well. So providing liquidity then. This is step one to yield farming, because you need to provide liquidity. When you provide liquidity, you get back what's called an LP token, and that represents the liquidity you have provided. And then with yield farming, you stake that LP token and get extra rewards on top there. So the disadvantages of providing liquidity. Now, there are some exchanges coming out as well that you only have to provide one asset, but right now the standard is that you provide two assets. As we go forward into the future, I think there's going to be lots of other different options, but right now I'm looking at kind of standard AMMs and what the likes of Sundaeswap have provided right now. So you need to provide two assets and not just ADA. So if you want to provide liquidity for the ADA World Mobile pair, you need to put up a certain amount of ADA and then an equal value of World Mobile on the other side. This opens you up to impermanent loss, because when you've provided the liquidity, they're always kept at a 50-50 split in terms of value. So if one outperforms the other, then that means that when you are reclaiming the tokens, putting back in your LP token, taking back your tokens at the end, you might get a lot less of one and a little bit more of the other one, depending on how they have traded against each other. The ideal scenario is that they just keep, in comparison to each other, that they just go up and down, that neither of them outperforms the other one by too much. Obviously you want a bit of volatility because that's where the fees come from, but you don't want to see one really outperforming the other by too much. As well, another disadvantage is that funds sit in a smart contract. So instead of your own wallet, it means that you send your funds into a smart contract, and then at that stage, it is the smart contract that holds custody of your ADA and whatever other token you have put into it. So obviously when you're getting involved in this, make sure you check that the contracts you're getting involved in have been audited, the security audits were all fine. There is still always that small percentage chance that something could happen. So for me personally, I would never get into providing liquidity with all of my assets. Generally, I will only provide liquidity when there's yield farming bonuses on top of that. For me, the potential rewards, as you see here, the advantages are you generate fees from trading. So from every trade that goes through the pair, you get a small bit of the fees on that. But generally, if there isn't yield farming rewards on top, providing liquidity just doesn't fit into my risk reward ratio and what I am willing to risk in order for what the potential coming back from that is. Now, a question that I get as well from a few people over the last few days as well is, can you stake and provide liquidity? Currently, you can't do that because when you provide liquidity, the ADA leaves your wallet and goes into providing liquidity. So Cardano has a very nice feature where you can actually stake smart contracts. So the ADA locked into a smart contract, the smart contract can actually be staked as well. Currently, Sundaeswap don't offer this, but hopefully at some point in the future they will. So as well, when you provide the liquidity, the ADA you've provided liquidity there, that will also be staking, so that earns a reward. Potentially that can be paid back to you as the holder. It will be up to the individual platforms. I've talked about this before with Wing Riders. I'll share their article down below as well, that where they talk about this and how it is a really big advantage of something like Cardano. So it's an extra income stream as well. So as well as providing liquidity, you earn the fees, and then you also earn the staking rewards as well. So again, that would mean that for me who looks at the risk reward ratios, when something like that is there, there's more chance of me providing liquidity when I also get that extra return from staking as well. So yield farming then is what comes after providing liquidity. So obviously you need to provide liquidity to get the LP tokens, and then yield farming comes on top of that. So you don't get yield farming rewards for every asset pair on an exchange or a DEX or whatever you want to call them. So you need to look before you get into this and see what ones they actually offer yield farming rewards on. So the disadvantages then of yield farming, so they're the same as providing liquidity, because obviously you need to provide liquidity first, and then may lock up your LP tokens for a set amount of time. Now, this doesn't mean that they're actually locked and you can't withdraw them, but a lot of times what happens is that you need to leave the LP tokens in there for a set amount of time before you earn any of the rewards. So with Sundaeswap right now, that's 30 days. So you need to leave your LP tokens in there for 30 days in order to earn the rewards for the full 30, or to earn any rewards actually. So even if you leave it in there for 20 days and then decide to pull it out, which you can do at any time, you can remove your LP tokens and change them back into the initial assets, but you won't get any of the rewards from yield farming. You need to leave it in there for the full specified time. So with Sundaeswap, after 30 days, you'll be able to pull out the rewards you've earned on that, and then you can decide if you want to just let the LP tokens start a new 30 days or whatever you want to do there. But you can take out the rewards earned in the first 30 days. The advantages are obviously you earn the fees generated from trading, that's from providing liquidity, and then you get the extra rewards on top in the form of the native token of that platform. Generally, that's what it is. With Sundaeswap, it is the Sunday token. So when you look at this, and hopefully in time, Cardano adds the extra layer to this. So you get the fees from providing liquidity, you get the yield farming bonus, and then you also get the staking rewards as well. There's another side on this as well with some of the platforms out there. I think Liquid are one that are looking at this as well, is say the token you earn from yield farming, you can also then use that token to put it back in as well, and you open up an extra income stream as well. But I'll get deeper into some of that and the more technical side of that at a later date as well. So let's jump over to Sundaeswap and we'll take a look at how this plays out in actual real world examples. Okay, and just before I get into that, I'll leave a link to this article down below. This is the one that talked about staking and smart contracts and how the options are there for Cardano. So this was from Wingrider, so I'll put that link down below as well for anyone who wants to read a bit more into that. So an example then of providing liquidity, here's one that I have done already. You can see for World Mobile and ADA, you can see this one was done 7 days ago because it's saying the next payout is in 23 days. So like I said, I need to leave it in there for 30 days because if I don't get any of the rewards. So far on that pair there, I have earned 560 ADA. You can see the APR here is 279% right now. This was over 300% yesterday or the day before, and it's coming down now. As more and more people go into this, you will see the APRs go down. So make sure you take this into account when you decide if you want to get into it as well. And this is based on two things. So there is 500,000 Sunday tokens up for rewards, for yield farming rewards every day for, I think they said, the first 6 months. And the pairs that they do that for are World Mobile ADA, Liquid ADA, and Sunday ADA. So the 500,000 gets split over everyone who goes in to provide liquidity. So obviously the more people in providing liquidity and yield farming on top of that, then the less you are going to get and the smaller this is. This also comes into play with the Sunday token price as well. So if the token price goes up, then your percentage here is going to go up as well because you're getting a greater, would say, dollar value back, or versus ADA, you get more value back for what you put in. So this is an example pair here. So I'm going to change the wallet. This is CC Vault. This is the wallet I use most of the time. And I think I have this one set up here. So I'll change over to this. Actually, for anyone as well, you can change between wallets here. So you can just select the wallet that you want on the CC Vault browser plugin and then click on the Enable DApp. So this one's already enabled. If I wanted this one, I would click Enable DApp account, but I'm okay on this one now. So I come back to Sunday. Sometimes I find it automatically picks it up and changes for me. Other times I have to actually connect the wallet again. Okay, so if you want to provide liquidity now, you can go in here and click on Provide Liquidity here if you know the pairs you want to do, or you can come over to Home and look down here at the different pairs that are here. So you can see these three top pairs here are the ones you can see farming APR. So you can see these are the ones that provide yield farming rewards. The rest of them, as you go down through them, currently don't provide rewards. In the future, I think they might look at adding other pairs as well. So let's say for World Mobile, if I click on this one here and I go into Provide Liquidity, so you can click this one or this one, both the same. So Provide Liquidity, and you can see I'm going to put in, let's put in 20 World Mobile, and you can see it automatically selects that I need to put in on the other side 13.94 ADA. And actually you can see here it says insufficient balance because there's only 12 ADA in this account. And I think the collateral then makes up a part of that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up 2 World Mobile and one that says that I need to put up 1.39 ADA for this. Now this is only an example, so I'll just put this up to show you how it works. So I say provide liquidity, and this is how many LP tokens I'm going to get back. This is the rate, and this here is the share of the pool that I will earn. So this is the share of the trading fees earned by that pool that I will get. So I click order deposit, and it gives me the CC Vault pop up here. So I'm going to put in my password, click on sign, and then it's going to build that transaction and submit it then as well.
A few moments later.
Okay, and you can see here now I've left this for a while, and you can see that the order has now been completed. So I have deposited the ADA and WMT for the LP tokens. So the next step, if you want to get into yield farming, then is you go into liquidity in here, and you can see I have provided this liquidity position here. And what I want to do then is click on more, and then I have the option down here to stake LP tokens. So I go in and I click stake LP tokens. It asks how much of the LP tokens I want to stake. For me, I want to stake 100% of them. Sometimes you might want to stake 50 or 75 or whatever way you want to do it. But for me, generally, it's 100%. So click on your choice up here. Click on stake tokens. You can see it's building the transaction. And again, I get the pop-up from CC Vault. So whichever you're using, you will get the pop-up. And we put in the password and sign the transaction. So the transaction is now queued. It's going to, they're building, submitting the transaction. It'll go into the network. Then it will be scooped and it will be sitting as a liquidity position then. Okay, so that's it for providing liquidity and yield farming now on top of Cardano, and in this case, Sundaeswap. As more protocols roll out over the next few months, I will cover them as well and the differences that they have. Some are going to have different options like one-sided liquidity and things like that. So I'll cover all that type of stuff. If there's other stuff you want to see me cover in these types of videos, if these types of videos are useful where there's a bit of information first and then the example of how it works, let me know and I can start trying to do more of these as well for topics that you want to see. Thanks for watching, guys. Share it out if you think others can benefit. Subscribe if you are new. Give the video a like and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.